Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of Organic the Podcast. My name is Kia Santiago and I am the owner and creator of Organic the Podcast. And each and every week, I will bring to you a great episode with a variety of topics. So if you're looking for inspiration, education, motivation, knowledge, all mixed in with lots of fun, make sure you tune into the podcast. Hey loves, welcome to another great episode of Organic the Podcast. My name is Kia Santiago and I am your host. We are going to continue our conversation on becoming a business owner and being an entrepreneur. If you guys recall, last week we talked about business planning. So go ahead and grab your pen and your paper, get you something to keep you hydrated, and let's jump on into these jewels. We're talking today about naming your business and finding the perfect location for your business. So, when naming your business, you definitely want to name the business something that sounds good. Something that sounds good being said aloud. You know, for example, Dollar Tree, Target, Life Clothing, Cape, Signature Events. Signature Events. I really like that one. Okay, so you got me. Signature Events is the name of my business. But as you can see, the names of the business that I listed, they sound really good aloud. And they're easy for people to pronounce. And they just sound very inviting when you think of a business name. You definitely want to make sure that it's not something that's going to be hard for people to say. Okay? Moving on, number 2. Use a name that has meaning to it. It conveys a benefit. For example, when you think of the at-home store, you automatically think, okay, this store is going to sell things that I need for my home. When you think of the farmer's market, okay, I automatically think I'm going to get fresh produce, fresh everything, because it's coming straight from a farm. And the Dollar Tree. I already know me, when I go to the Dollar Tree, I'm going to spend more than $1, but I know my item, each individual item itself, isn't going to cost me any more than $1. Although I spend way more than $1. You guys ever go into the Dollar Tree with a list of 5 items and come out with 30 items? I know I'm not the only one. At least I hope I'm not the only one. And what do you think about when you hear Popeye's chicken? Popeye's chicken. You know, you're going to get some great chicken. It's going to be good. I'm imagining it's going to be good. I've never really been a fan of Popeye's chicken. And also now I'm a vegan, so I'll never taste it. But it's catchy, you know? And so you definitely want to use names that relate to what it is that you do. All right? For example, Signature Events. When people hear the name of my business, they automatically think, okay, she's an event planner. When I started my business, I did start off as an event planner, but I have branched out now to do other things. I do hosting, I sell home decor, I sell body and wellness. So now my slogan is everything and every day is an event. And I like to put my signature on that. Therefore, hence Signature Events. So you want to really think about your business name. You want to think about what it is that you're trying to convey to the public. Okay? Moving on along. Number 3, avoid Webbish 2.0 syndrome. You know, you don't want people to have to go to the web to figure out how to spell the name of your company. You don't want people to go to the web to figure out what it is that you sell. So you want to avoid that, what I like to call the web 2.ish syndrome. You want people to hear the name Dollar Tree and know exactly what it is. You want them to hear the name Signature Events and know exactly what it is. Now, it's not anything wrong if someone goes to look up exactly what it is that you sell. You know, you may sell a variety of items, but you want them to already have a general idea of what you sell. Okay. Hence the example, the at-home store. You may not know exactly what they're selling for your home, but you know you're going to find items in there that pertain to your home. Okay. Awesome. Number 4, beware of initials. You know, I personally say to each his own when it comes to that. If you want to name your restaurant Juniors, go for it. I know there is a great restaurant in Hampton called LV's. It is a soul food restaurant. It's Black owned, and it is awesome, guys. You ever have the chance to stop by there in Hampton LV's on Bryfield Road, do so. The food is amazing. But I personally think you just want to be a little cautious when naming your business initials, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, IBM and 3M have gotten away with initials, but they're multi-billion dollar companies. So just give it a little thought, you know. This is going to be your baby. When you go into business for yourself, you are taking on a brand new baby. Sometimes you're not going to get your sleep because you're going to be brainstorming, or you may have these long meetings, and it's going to be very well worth it. You put the work in, it will definitely pay off. Okay. Number 5, guys, I want you to be specific. Be specific. Don't just use generic names that don't mean anything. Really sit down and think about the name of your business. This is just like I said, it's your baby. Will you just name your baby anything? Like, oh, I'm going to just name my baby today. I'm name my baby, you know. All those celebrities, they have named their children some things, but those kids have trust funds, so I think they'll be good in the world. But when you are naming your business, you definitely want to put in the time and the energy and the thought. You know, you definitely want to put in the thought when it comes to naming your business. All right. So just keep that in mind. When you name your business, something with value and something with substance, it just brings more meaning to your company. All right. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're thinking about naming your business. Number 6, make sure you can trademark the name. Now, depending on how big you want to build the brand, this is important, to consider. All right. It's very well worth the look up. You can go to uspto.gov or a new site called trademarkia.com before settling on a name. That way you can run your names through to see if anyone else is using them. You may have to change the spelling of your name, but this way it gives you the information that you need so that you can go ahead and trade your name yourself. Okay. Number 7. Test it out on Google. Put in a name, see if a business comes up. Google also has a AdWord. It's one of the great features of the first keyword. It's a keyword tool that you can use searching phrases and things, and it is used globally. You can also find out how many times the searches have been used monthly. It's just a really, really great tool to use when looking to see if someone else has the same business name as yourself. Okay. Now, if you really want to get advanced, try to come up with a name that you could possibly eventually use as a verb, like, TED Talk. TED Talk is actually technical, educational, and design. Tech education and design is the name. And they call their clients Tedsters. I just think that's so cute. There's also another company called Maverick Business Adventures, and they like to call different things that take place in their company the Maverick moments. So, that's just awesome if you can come up with a name like that. I know a lot of boutiques have really great names, and then they kind of have, little slogans or verbs that they can use or language that they can use to describe their clients. Not something you have to do, not something you have to have, but I do think that it's a good idea. Okay, so those are the 7 jewels that I have for you when it comes to naming your business. Let's move on to location. Now, when you think of location, you automatically think, where do I want my business to be? Some companies start out at home. Some companies want storefronts. Some companies want a mixture of both. When I think of a mixture of a at-home business and a storefront, I think of the workspaces that are out there, such as Regis, Workspace in Hanson. We also have one here in Newport News where you can actually rent out office space, and it, depending on where the office is, sometimes it gets foot traffic. There are a lot of great tools that's offered in your package with having a workspace like that. But I want to give you just a few little noggins about location. One of the main things that I like to think about, or that everyone should consider when coming up with a location, is accessibility. You want to make sure that if you get a lot of deliveries, that you are accessible to local transportation, main roads, things like that. Now, don't forget about employees. If you have employees, you also want to think about, are you on a bus route, or is it going to be easy for them to get to and from, via taxi service, or however, they're going to do that. Are they in walking distance to their home? You definitely want to make sure your location is accessible. Also, you want to make sure it's accessible to the type of foot traffic that you want to get in there. All right. Number 2, security. Security is really, really great, and it's really big when you think about where you want your business. Believe it or not, your location can increase your odds of being affected by crime, which in turn can influence your insurance premium, as well as an additional security measures you may need to take. And that can be kind of pricey at times. So you definitely want to make sure that you're in a secure area. What I like to do, or what I've done in the past when looking for locations, is I like to go by the location at night, because usually the location is different at night than it is during the day. So I like to, of course, see what it looks like in the day, see what the foot traffic is, what the hangout is. But I also like to go later at night to see, what the difference is. And then, of course, make my decision based off of that, along with other elements. Number 3, competition. Okay. Your proximity to other competing businesses could be crucial to your success. Could they provide a benefit to your business or cause a hindrance? Now, that's something you really want to think about. Establishing which competitors are in your area and what they're offering could also guarantee you, it can guarantee that that's the right location for you. It could also guarantee that it's the wrong location. So you definitely want to know your competitors. If you are a clothing boutique and you just sell t-shirts, you don't want to move right across the street from another store who also is a clothing boutique and they sell just t-shirts. Now, if you are a clothing boutique and you sell vintage clothing, and you move across the street from a boutique that sells, everyday average wear, then that's different, because that's giving your clients and your potential customers a variety to choose from. There's nothing wrong with variety. And guys, trust me, there is more than enough to go around, okay? But you definitely want to make sure that you know your competition in the area that you're moving in. All right. Business rates. cash is king. Cash flow is crucial as it determines the ability for a business to survive and to pay its bills. So business rates, you want to make sure that this is a location that you can afford. You want to make sure that the rate isn't going to go up, say, after a year or 2 years. You just want to make sure that it is a very well-established area and that you're going to be able to afford the business rates there. Okay? Number 5, skill base in the area. All right. You want to know, or you want to find out the skill base in the area that can fulfill a lot of your needs. If you're moving into, say, a lower poverty area and you're selling high-end merchandise, that's not going to work. That is not going to work at all. That is going to be very detrimental to your business. You want to move into an area, if you're selling a higher class or a higher end product, you want to be in an area where you're going to get that type of foot traffic. Okay? And then last but not least, number 6 is your potential for growth. You want to get a building that you know that is going to grow with you. If you are doing 100,000 in sales and you're going to want to expand, you can go ahead and get a larger building that gives you room to grow into. But if you're just going to stay, a small mom and pop shop, which is fine, then you want to find something that is going to fit within that potential for you as well. Okay, so guys, I really hope that this episode helped you a little with naming of your business and also the location of your business. There are so many great tools that you can use. You can just go online and you can go to, of course, Google and just type in anything that's going to help you with your business. Being an entrepreneur, guys, is not easy, but it is very rewarding, and it's not for everybody. I hope someone have found something inspirational or motivational, even educational from this episode. Remember, we have 3 more mini series left for our Back to Business series. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me. I would love to continue the dialogue. If there's any business owners who wants to share their knowledge of business, definitely send me an email so that we can get you on the podcast. Until next time, everyone, stay blessed.